and America's Newsroom. Ohio Republican Congressman Michael Turner. He's on the Services Committee. He's with me live now to Washington. And, sir, and welcome back here to America's Newsroom. What do you hope he says? What do you expect him to say?
Well, I hope the president makes clear that this is an issue of the responsibility being firmly with Vladimir Putin. He has tens of thousands of troops on the border of Ukraine. The fact that this site is not secure and the international community does not have access to it is clearly an issue of Russia not providing that access. We look at the weapon that was used. The war zone that has been opened here in Europe is totally been opened by the direction of Vladimir Putin. This responsibility lays firmly with him, and the president needs to lean heavily on Russia.
Wall Street Journal asked this question. The main assessment the White House is making, what can the U.S. do to shape a response to the dramatic turn in events this past week? How do you think you could best answer that question?
Well, there are a number of things. You know, sanctions are a dial that you can continuously turn up, and the president has taken a couple steps in sanctions, but could certainly increase the pressure there. But even more importantly, we could provide direct support to the Ukrainians. We're not providing enough intelligence information about what they're facing, where the rebel troops are, and even providing them equipment and military assistance as to how best they can defend themselves against the Russian influence with the pro-separatists.
If you want to get Putin to behave differently, what the article points out is that you want to provide the Russian leader an off-ramp to de-escalate matters in eastern Ukraine. How would you achieve that?
Well, I think first it has to be, a direct identification that this is Vladimir Putin's war. The president has been very slow to hold Russia accountable and to identify this as Russian intervention. He continues to talk about the issue of what's occurring in Ukraine and the pro-Russian separatists, rather than just, they are funded, equipped, and directed by Russia itself, and Russia needs to be the sole target of our efforts with respect to Ukraine.
Let's move to Israel right now. Lindsey Graham, the senator from South Carolina, on Meet the Press. Watch.
My view of the Israeli operation, stay as long as you need to stay, go wherever you need to go to deal with the viper's nest called Hamas. It's not the number of casualties that determines the moral outcome here. There are more German soldiers got killed than American soldiers. If I were Israel, I would stay in Gaza as long as I needed to stop the rockets for good.
Would you support that? And how long would that take?
Certainly. What's clear here is that there wasn't the international outrage when over 1,000 rockets were sent to Israel from Gaza. What we need to do is support Israel in its efforts to close down the tunnels, close down the routes that are supplying these, and certainly defend themselves. This is an issue, I think, also that where missile defense has performed well. We've seen the Iron Dome, where the United States has provided funding. My committee has provided some funding to make certain this works. And I think, Israel certainly has a right to defend itself.
The last incursion lasted 15 days. I think it's day 5 at the moment. Third, Iran. We now know the nuclear negotiations will be extended another 4 months. It's yet another extension in the back and forth on this, which puts it, I guess, on the calendar to mid-November. How do you think the administration is handling this? And Secretary Kerry argued forcefully on Sunday that Iran is backing down, and the U.S. policy apparently has a handle on this. Do you agree?
Well, I think this is embarrassing. I think nobody really thought that the negotiations with Iran were going to be productive. The administration went in with, I think, very difficult goals to achieve, with no real incentive on the part of Iran to achieve that, and expecting, I think the administration did, that Russia would come in and help dissuade, where Russia's had no interest in dissuading Iran. I think this is one of those instances the administration has stepped into an unachievable and has not looked to how really do we deter Iran to make certain that the price is just too high for them to seek weapons of mass destruction.
So do you think right now the policy has failed, yes or no?
Absolutely. And it is not unexpected that we'd be at this point.
Michael Turner, Republican from Ohio. Thank you, sir, for your time today.
Thank you.
All right.